All right, today, you'll never guess who we're talking about. Tall, dark, handsome, amazing, beautiful, gorgeous. Yeah, so today we're talking about Vegito, right? Don't ignore Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong's not here, okay? Just don't even think about Donkey Kong, because Donkey Kong ain't gonna think about you, okay? Just leave him alone. We'll worry about him later, okay? So, the question at hand, is Vegito still good? Where does Vegito go? We're gonna talk about it. Vegito recently had big changes. There was, of course, a 50% meter loss. Still weird change. Lazy change to me. They should revert it and properly rebalance the character. But we're well past that point because we got what... Dude, there better not be another patch, dude, or I'll eat my underwear. Do you still play him the same? Is he still, you know, he was a mid or anchor character because you wanted the assist behind you. You wanted Banshee Blast. You wanted random bullshit goal right behind you. It was perfect, dude. He threw everything. He threw the book, the sink, everything at you, okay? His assist was so overbearing and eclipsed every other assist in the game. It was crazy. It was Vegito A, a couple blank spaces, and then the, you know, 17 barrier, right? That's how stupid Vegito A was. But they shot it. In fact, let me show you how bad the assist is now. Look at that. You flip out by like the 38th frame. Okay, that's incredible. And incredibly bad. Where you have other characters, you know, look at that. Oosh. You know, 55, 56 frame, you know, even Majin 21, right? It's so much more time. Some characters double the knockback or the hit stun that they have compared to Vegito A, which is just dead in the water now. What do? Do you still play this assist? I mean, kind of. It's not as good as it used to be. They flip out, you know, 38 frame, right? It's hard to convert off of it. It sucks, you know. It used to be top 1 best assist in the game. Now it's one of the worst assists in the game because you can't even drag and rush from the assist late into combos anymore. Terrible change. Again, they nerfed his assist, but he's still a great character. So where do you play him? Point, mid, anchor? It's kind of hard to say. I kind of want to say point, but lacking meter means you're going to be hungry for meter the entire game, which is super difficult to deal with, right? Especially with all the crazy bullshit EX moves now that are in the game. You know, Cell perfect attack, you know, Vegito blue command grab, GT Goku reverse Kame, right? That's not even an EX move. There's a lot of random bullshit go EX moves in the game. If you're hungry for meter, you're not going to have the meter to do the same thing. Let's talk about what changed. I actually have the patch notes right here. Crouching light attack is now low. This is a weird change. I don't really think it's a change that affects anything. You know, maybe you'll catch your opponent not blocking their toes once in a while, but it's not something that's like, oh my god, you know. You're probably not going to notice it too often in matches, but your opponent can and will get hit low once in a while. What else happened? Jumping heavy attack can now be jump canceled, so falls in line with the other characters. Pretty standard, you know. Majin 21 got the same thing. Only works in the corner. Piccolo's works anywhere. It's kind of weird, you know. They definitely pick and chose which ones work everywhere and which ones just work in the corner. Barrier. Now his counter, right, or called barrier. If you hold it down, you get a command grab. And I'll get into this later, but I'll let you know right now, I don't think it's very good. And in fact, I think it probably does more harm than good to some Vegito players because you probably just hold it down. You never realize you held it down until, you know, this change happened. But 38 frame command grab, 35, sorry, one of the slowest in the game. You know, it is what it is. Some weird changes, and outside of that, it's just the limit break changes where you can level 1, level 3, right? And you really don't want to do that with Vegito unless it's to kill. Because, as you know, you want to save that extra bar so you could vanish and go for the 50-50, which is better than doing, you know, level 1, level 3, right? If you're not going to kill. If you're going to kill, great, level 1, level 3, level 1, right? Spend 5 meters. But if you only have 4 bars, you're level 3, you know, vanish, right? And go for the mix. Let's talk about his normals. 5L, still not really a button you throw out of neutral. This is 47 frames, dude. Like, You whiff this button, bro, and Donkey Kong's just gonna bonk you for the banana, alright? If Donkey Kong doesn't get you, dude, Diddy Kong's gonna get you, right? So, you know, pick and choose your moments wisely, alright? 2L, low crushing move, now low, right? Pretty good. Not really something you just throw out in neutral without a reason for it. It is a medium starter, so when it does land, that's great. Love it. Love that for you, Vegito player. You're amazing. Mwah. Mwah. Kisses go out to you. Now, brother. Let's talk about his 2M. You know, it's not the best low. Yeah, it goes super far. And you're probably thinking, that's an amazing low. Look how far it goes. See, I would agree with you if we didn't have 5M, baby. Let's go, baby. 5M, 9-frame move. Half screen, baby. Let's go 5M, baby. Mad far. Why would you ever throw out 2M when you have this power play of a button? Why would you ever throw anything out in neutral? Like, look at this. -47. Oh my god. -34. Oh, who would have thought that? -45, right? -40. 5M is your best button. It's the only button you need. Why would you hit any other button? And then we have 5H. Pretty standard against, you know, other H buttons. It's not too different. I believe they all are around the same frame data. Yeah. And then finally we have 2H. Great button. Hits mad high. I believe there are even occasions where it hits behind him. I could be wrong. Yeah, okay, so there's occasions where, you know, he's dummy thick and he hits behind him. Does this work with everybody? I don't know, maybe. Nah, it's probably the bigger characters there when you find yourself in the corner. So now let's move on to some of his other moves, right? We have 5S, 6S. They're good for block strings, right? Because you don't know if they're going to special cancel. You don't know if they're going to do nothing after it, right? You know, it's a good RPS situation that favors Vegito. Okay, and then we have Spirit Sword. Not too much to talk about this move when it comes to block strings. For some reason, they let you use it in a block string now, and it's safe. Its real utility comes from catching your opponent. And man, I forgot to turn on the audio. My editors are going to kill me. Guys, I'm sorry. But for these first couple minutes, hold that. Moving on. Just to show you what I mean about Spirit Sword being good for kind of like full screen utility and trying to catch your opponent hopping around, is if it hits, you actually get a better conversion the further it hits. So if you get it super close, right, you can only super dash because you can't dash in. But if you get them from, and look how far this is, by the way. No, I hit jab too late. There we go. Oh, it sends you flying. Feels bad. So yeah, as you can see, the further they are, the better conversion you can get. But yeah, as you can see, you get better conversions, right? You get to go legs, knockdown, boom, special tag. So just keep that in mind. Know what distance you're at. Let's talk about his air moves now. So jump light, pretty good button for catching super dashes. Just air to airs in general. He goes out pretty far. It's pretty average active frames, but just the fact of how far it goes out. There we go. Damn, that's mad far. What? So yeah, JL, good button. JM and JH are both cross-up buttons. Why? I don't know. This is top tier privilege. That's just how good of his air buttons are. Yeah, it's a good button. Jump light is good for hitting super dashes just because of its angle, because it goes downward and it goes outward as well, right? Unlike characters like Gohan that just go straight down but don't go out. JMH, great cross-up buttons. Okay. Now this button is too damn good. Oh, remember when the French gaslit us saying Vegito had no mix? And then they came to the States and they were like, same side sword. And everybody got hit. And everybody still gets hit. You can't super dash it. You can't 2H it. And if it gets blocked, I'm out of here, bro. You'll never see me again. I'm avoiding taxes like Yoshi. Remember how hard we got? Son, the French deserve nothing for gaslighting us. And finally, we have Banshee Blast, right? Banshee Blast, on point, is pretty good if you have 3 bars. And the reason being is that if your opponent decides to super dash at you when you do it, you can just level 3 them on reaction. You hit them, you wait, and then you teleport, and then you 50-50 them. And it's Vegito. He gets superb damage off any of his hits, and then, you know, legs into special tag. You've seen it. It's happened to you before. You know what I'm saying. You might be having flashbacks right now. So yeah, that's pretty much covers it for his normals. So if you could take anything from this, 5M is usually going to be the only ground button you use when it comes to neutral. All his air buttons are solid. It just depends on the situation. Are you crossing up, right? Do you want to use M, H, Do you want to same side mix, right? Are you at that weird angle where you're like this on your opponent? And then you do Spirit Sword from, for some reason, super jump, double jump height, and it basically hits. This move is, I've been hit by this move more times than I can count. Just because of the angle it gives you and it covers. And then you get that hit. So let's move on to his specials. Legs. Oh my god. This move, bro. Safe and pushes your opponent back. And you just go... Look how much screen cover you have with the X. You just go flying for no reason. And the air version, and mind you, these are all safe. Every version of legs is safe with the pushback. Okay. Now, what if I told you can make them better? If you instant air legs, there's more pushback and it's safer. So this is the ground version of legs. -4, 5, right? Not much pushback. This is the air version, right? You travel further in the air version, so that's why I was actually closer. But if you space it, like, look at that difference, right? And EX, instant air EX legs basically goes full screen. It goes about 95% of the screen. Like, God forbid, you know, you're playing neutral and the Vegito does this and they're like, man, that's crazy. Anyways. So it's a moving hitbox that's used as a movement tool as well. And of course, you can do it as many times as you want. You know, you're in the corner, just EX legs. Look at that. You're full screen now. Command grab. Or just counter and command grab. My big problem with this move is that even if it hits, so let's say you counter, right? Why do counters not work properly? Why? That's a punish, by the way. Like, let me try to block here. I got punished. If you saw my UI video, which I just put out, it's Jover, it's UI Jover, you would see that I talk about how counters don't work properly in this game, which I think they should. What's the point of a counter if it doesn't counter? Why could you counter? I went for the risk, right? I made myself vulnerable, but I got punished. Just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand some of the changes they did to these characters. I never will. So with that, if you ever make a game, please make things make sense, because counters being countered in this fashion, terrible. So on top of that, they also made it a command grab, right? And I talked about this earlier. 35 frames if you hold it down. Super slow. You can maybe catch your opponent off guard, but once people adapt and they're like, oh yeah, you can command grab me, they'll just remember to jump away. If they vanish, you can vanish as well. No, you can't vanish out of this. Like, here, let me turn on input display so you can see I'm not lying. Yeah, you're just stuck. It's a terrible move. You can't level 1, you can't level 3. It sucks. Finally, we have his command grab, another defensive movement tool. But what makes this so good is that it's frame 1 air invul, right? So if your opponent safe jumps you, you EX command grab out, and then you get out. You're like, oh, I'm out. It's a good tool. It's super hard to punish. Especially if even if your opponent is ready for this move, it's so hard to punish because it's behind and he goes so far and then he recovers in the air. Oh, because I didn't super jump. Oh, so there's, yeah, it's a skill check to punish this move. It's tough. So it's great defensive move. It's great to catch your opponent when they're just airborne in general. So you could vanish, get a combo. Has a lot of utility to it. Frame 1, anti-air, great damage. It's superb. Some characters can special tag off of it. Oh, that does work. Believe me, I just didn't land it. Again, all his specials are great. I don't think he has a single bad one except counter. This is the only terrible thing in his arsenal. Well, of course, nothing really changed on his supers outside of the standard. Oh hey, everybody has double supers now. You get double super. You get double super. I get double super, right? Realistically, you wouldn't go for that unless it's going to kill. Because you want to go for the mix. And you only go for level 1, level 3, level 1, again, if you get the kill. I guess that's a good point to talk about. Someone in chat brings up a good point. That barrier procs on assist. But this is still a huge risk in and of itself. Because if you're playing neutral and your opponent decides to jump over, right? And then they cross you up, you're going to be vulnerable and you're still going to explode. So it's still not the best thing to go for. Vegito A, as I mentioned before, and you know what, here, I'll just show you. You can't really use this to Dragon Rush anymore. Oh, what's the point? If you used to use it to extend your combos into a knockdown, sure, if you get awkward hits like this. Wow, even then, that's mad fast. There's his A assist, or B assist, sorry, that has a lot of block stun. So if you're looking for a mix, you know, 45 frames, that's pretty high up there. Versus, you know, 29 Gogeta. So this has utility for mix, right? But outside of that, you don't really call this randomly a neutral. He doesn't go very far outside of the second hit, but that second hit takes, what, 45 frames to hit? 43-ish? Yeah, so this is, you know, slower than GT Goku and doesn't cover as much. It doesn't have as much block stun if the second hit hits. So you have to be it's a situational assist. It's mainly mix-ups and, you know, you get the hit and then you get the Dragon Rush at the end of it. And then his C assist, which is okay because it tracks, but there's no block stun to it. Slow on startup. The good thing about it is, again, just that it tracks. So it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I guess at this point, you gotta ask yourself, do you want to clear the screen? Or do you want to go for mix? Oh, I mean, you could always also just run him point. Up to you if you want to run him point or not. He's strong enough to be on point, but he's not going to build any meters, so you probably have to hit your opponent maybe one more time. And even then, you're going to go into the next character with no resources. It's tough. He's still good. Don't get me wrong. He's still an amazing character. Just because they nerfed his A assist doesn't make him bad. You know, you got to think about it. I still think he's a strong character. He has all the tools, specials, movement, everything. He has everything. Right? Everything. Except the proper assist. Which is fair. I'm a firm believer that you should have everything and a proper assist. Let me rephrase that. You shouldn't have everything and the best assist in the game. Let me rephrase that. Let me know what you Vegito players think. Let me know what those of you that don't play Vegito and hated him for the longest time. You guys are probably happy that he got nerfed. I get it. It happens. You know, like, for those of you that wanted the Kid Buu UI nerfs, it's the nature of the beast. And that's it. That's all I have. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know who else you guys want me to talk about. And yeah, I'll get to every character. And yeah, the glow up series is going to happen. I just got sick for like a week, okay? I went outside and I touched grass and I got sick. Still am.